Alright, today we're rewatching the homemade episode of the Back to the Future clock tower scene, one of my all-time favorite homemade movies episodes. This originally came out on May 28th, 2013. Oh my gosh. So let's watch it. Okay.
Great Scott, you guys requested.
Okay, starting with my intro, but I incorporated it into the first shot. Okay.
Let's do this, Doc.
Alright, before he even says a word, I gotta pause. This is now Piotr, who, as we know, is a brilliant impressionist. And when we found out that he could do the most amazing Doc Brown ever, we had to have him in here. But we had to add some speaking lines because technically the scene we were doing didn't have any speaking lines from Doc. So this is the first time ever in homemade movies when we did a scene. This was John O'Brien's idea. We took a little snippet of a previous scene so we could actually have him saying some dialogue. And then we kind of just do a little transition and fast forward to the rest of the scene. Normally we would never manipulate the scenes in any way, we just kind of do it end to end, but this was a good chance to get Doc speaking. So let's just listen at how good this impression is, and of course we've done many other videos with Piotr as Doc because he's so good.
Don't worry! As long as you hit that wire with a connecting hook at precisely 88 miles.
And this wig is like a Bozo the Clown wig, like I don't even know, but he sells it.
Everything will be fine.
It's so good. To this day, Piotr has my outgoing voicemail message is him doing like, Dustin's not here right now. I've had it on there for 100 years. I'm never gonna delete it. Okay, I just love this. This was set up in the living room. That same day that we were shooting this, I quickly made that clock tower. We just flashed lights. We rented a huge wind machine. It was like very like professional. I freaking love it. And then the way it intercuts from the miniatures to this stuff in the living room, to just in the car with the fan, and then all the different miniatures. And I have the different scales, you know, they're up on the shelf here, but I've got the bigger DeLorean, I've got the little small Hot Wheels DeLorean. Oh my gosh, I love it. The way it all fits together, and this is just like one of the most perfect movies in all of existence. So recreating it was a joy. It was a hectic schedule because it was mostly a night shoot. All the stuff with Piotr was out in the front yard at night. The rest of it was here at night in the living room inside. But yeah, it was. Let's see. I'm just watching now. I love it. I think this was also the first episode that I had Ben come to the house and help me build. Actually, you know, that's what it was. After the Matrix episode where he helped out for the shooting, this day, for part of the production, John O'Brien, my producer, the only other person that worked with me full time, he was going on vacation, which of course, you can go on vacation, but I still needed help building stuff. I'm gonna just pause for a second. So I used to build all the props and costumes and do the creative myself, where John O'Brien was managing, first of all, like the payroll, Dust Films LLC type stuff, booking talent that if it wasn't a friend of ours, making sure everything was scheduled right, and I'm building and doing the creative. So when he took a vacation, I reached out to Ben and said, hey, we're doing this Back to the Future episode. We've already shot the live action stuff, but I just need help with the miniatures. I gotta do a ton of miniatures, because you'd do like 1 or 2 days of live action and then 1 or 2 days of miniatures. And so he came over to the house, and it's so crazy looking back that at the time I didn't even know that he was so artistic and so crafty. I just thought of him as more like filmmaker, editor, and he helped with the Matrix. But once we sat down to like, okay, here's all the stuff we gotta build, and I had to do a clock tower at this size and a clock tower at this size, and he was like, yeah, I have like an art degree, like I can do that. I'm like, really? Okay, yeah, here, you take these. And he started building stuff with me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a revelation. I finally have somebody else who can actually build the stuff with me. That was brand new. So this was a special episode in that regard too, because it was having Ben come over for a few days just working on the art stuff and then helping me shoot all the miniatures, which of course ended up leading to him doing it full time with me for tons more episodes. But this was the first one where we worked together in that way. All right, back to okay, we got the car, that's my front yard. That's the same telephone pole where the Hunger Games guy was tied up. All miniatures, sparklers, went to a party store for that. Love that shot. We end up reusing all these buildings, so you always see a little bit of Back to the Future and a bunch of other episodes. Most of them were built for the Fast and Furious scene. Oh boy, oop, okay, a little cheat there, a little fade to the, and then this is the front yard. We have lights out there on the street with extension cords, and then that was a big cheat, but there's no other way to do it. We faded to the miniature all in one shot. Usually we wouldn't do that, it's like one or the other, but this time I thought start live action and then cut to this miniature, and the scale is not right there, but we're trying to like do a little forced perspective. I should have put the flames in at an angle to force that perspective a little bit. Anyways, Back to the Future, love it. That is just one of my favorite episodes of all time. I've showed that to a lot of people and watched it a bunch of times, unlike some of these, which I've not watched since they came out. So join me next week for one that I maybe haven't seen in 8 or 9 years, which is a really fun one. It'll be Die Hard. All right, I'll see you in a week.